Dress up. You belong. Hang on.
Hi.
It's your boy Young Love, I give him that time. Pancho legs stand and punchy America. Panji dual, the banaban. Pancho legs stand and punchy America. Panji dual, the banaban. Oh, Gajale, Kankara, what an watching. Oga leg, gear, power, leg. Panda with ya, punchy America. Panya dual, Chingatonga Pandon, could you ever buy a check? Papu Panda Jiro, what ya be dual venting. Stand and punchy America, Panji dual, Panapan, Pancha leg stand and punchy America, Panji dual, Panapan, walk on your leg, Kankaro, what an watching, Oga leg, gear, power, leg, Panda with ya, Panchi America, Panya dual, Vano, Chingatonga, Pandon, Kujera by
Welcome to Lake State Media tonight, today, this afternoon, wherever you are tuning in. It's a wonderful day. Welcome, Brother Madin Majak. Tonight, today, this evening in East Africa Standard Time is 8:06. It's a wonderful day. We will be hosting our speaker, Honorable Nyamach Nyang Chuol, ICT and Information Secretary for the SSUF. Slide forward A. So we'll bring her on board. Hello, Nyamach, you there?
Yeah, still can tapping can look at me until she come back.
All right then. Okay. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, she's here. Now we will be having Emmanuel Kembe music first before we start it.
We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you, going to the promised land. We will stand beside you. We will raise your hands. We will walk behind you, going to the promised land.
Oh, thank you so much, Emmanuel Kembe. It's a very good song. We are all concerned, citizens of South Sudan. We are all in the same boat. We are figuring out how we can help our nation. Tonight, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are tuning in, we have our guest, Honorable Nyamach Nyang Chuol, the ICT and the Secretary for the Information of SSUF. Welcome to Lagos State Media, Honorable. Okay. It's one of the best chances for us, and it's our privilege to have you in our show tonight. To ask you some few questions, because we are all concerned of the peace going on in Rome. And before that, let me just address my viewers here first. All viewers of Lagos State, please, I don't need somebody who's writing provocative messages or anything which is not applicable in this show. I will block you straight away. We need a constructive questions or the information or affirmatives if you just agree with everything. Otherwise, we will block you. That's the message I'm giving to you, the audience. We need respect. Let's be mature enough to conduct this interview properly. Brother Madid, can you take over, please?
Yeah, thank you, Isaac. Greeting, my sister Nyamach. Welcome to Lagos State Media. My name is Abraham Madid Majak. I'm one of the Lagos State Media hosts. It's my gratitude to have you today in our show. So, how we can conduct the show? Bolmakur will be the one who control, because it will be the host one mostly, and I will be listening in, and if it comes to my turn, and then we will, I myself, I will ask you some questions, but Bolmakur, I will give you a floor to introduce our guest.
Thank you, Madid and Isaac, and we are impressed today to bring Ms. Nyamach Nyang Chuol to the board. Welcome to Lagos State Media, Ms. Nyamach.
Thank you, Lagos State Media.
Thank you. It is our honor to have you today on Lagos State Media, and our viewers also. It is our honor to bring you, our sister Nyamach, to Lagos State Media today. Isaac already explained and expressed who is Nyamach, and you heard from him. And Madid also have welcomed him as well as I do. We will be interviewing Ms. Nyamach based on a recent peace agreement that's going on in Rome. And I would like you brothers and sisters to be more respectful to Ms. Nyamach, because there are sometimes people that ask disrespectful questions. Today, we would beg you to refrain yourself from such attack. There is no any ground that you can have insult, but you have a question that will take our country forward so we can achieve peace, stability. So thank you for that. And those are our house announcements. And we will start our interview. Also, Ms. Nyamach, I would like you to feel free, feel confident, and this forum is a forum that whereby all South Sudanese come here to consent and voice their consent and judge, and audience will also ask questions and will bring them to the screen after we talk to you. So, and if it is a legitimate question, you can answer it. If it's a question that is not legit, then we cannot bring it to the screen. We are also very happy to all youth for such great leaders like Ms. Nyamach that he have come to this position. Thank you. Madid, I will welcome you to open our interview. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Paul Makul. Sister, welcome again. So here is how we will conduct the interview. So we have two things. There are two interviews, phase one and phase two. Phase one is about question that I will ask you. Phase one mostly is about what happened in SSUF slide A. So what happened? Can you tell us more about what happened to South Sudan United Front and the progress going on right now in national agenda? That's the question that I will ask you about that. Mostly, and another follow-up for that question is about what's going on. Why that is we are learning now that there is two South Sudan United Front. The one that you are a spokesperson, the Romulonga one, is the chairman, and the other one is for Emmanuel Sani John, which is another leader. So can you tell South Sudanese about what's going on in SSUF?
Hello, hi everyone. Thank you, Lake State Media, for featuring me today. I'm humbled to be on your show. Thank you, Isaac, Bol, Madit. My name is Nyamach Nyang Chuol, as displayed. I'm a member of SSUF. I'm the Secretary of Information and Communication Technology and the spokesperson of the whole organization and movement. I believe you've had my colleagues here before, the spokesperson of our chairman, and I'm the overall spokesperson for SSUF. Frankly speaking, well, I will be very frank today and humble. It's my first time to be on your show, so kindly bear with me as I get used to your questions. But South Sudan United Front Army, SSUF-A, was formed in 2018. Madit, right? Madit was asking the questions.
Yes.
But your name is not displaying anymore. I wanted to say your full name.
We'll put that out on the screen. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, that's fine. Madit Majak, yes, you asked an overall broad question about what's happening in SSUF, and you were not specific, but I'll answer from your second question, whereby you said there's two South Sudan United Front Army. There is no two South Sudan United Front Army, and I guess you're coining this from our former colleague, our former spokesperson, Sunday Dijon, who was suspended and later on dismissed from the movement. Sunday claims to have formed his own South Sudan United Front Army and is the chairperson right now. He's not the first person who has done that after leaving SSUF. You know, defections are very common in all organizations, including the IO, including the IG, SOA, etc. You know, it's not the first time people defect from one movement to the other, go to an opposition and go back to the government. Sunday Dijon, our former spokesperson, was dismissed due to leakage of sensitive information to the Juba government. He has even his name has even been featured on people who are working closely with Akol Kor, and he is not a counterpart to our chairman, General Paul Malong. Yeah, General Paul Malong groomed him, appointed him, trusted him, and worked very closely with him. And to have someone else who has formed SAF-A, we've had that with a group that went to Khartoum at one point. We had a group who also left and impeached General Malong. And we're in 2020 right now. We're still South Sudan United Front Army, led by General Paul Malong, and we have no any other uh, leader apart from General Paul Malong, who was endorsed as the chairman and commander-in-chief in 2018. I believe Sunday has claimed to be a co-founding member of SAF. You know, Dr. Sunday was recruited. He was recruited to be in the position that I'm holding right now. He did not even join as a member to begin with. Yes. So for him to think his counterpart to General Paul Malong, he's very unsubstantiated. Yeah. So his claims, we do not recognize them. He can go on and call himself the chairman of SAF, and let's see how long it will last him. We do not know who are his followers right now, but who doesn't know General Paul Malong in South Sudan? Yeah. For someone as junior as Sunday to say that is his counterpart. South Sudan United Front had Sunday appreciates his work when he was the spokesperson. He did. He delivered until he later on he got lured in. You know, once you recruit someone, anyone can recruit him. So he was recruited by the movement, and he was also recruited by insiders in Juba, and that's why he was able to leak our documents that were under his care. So no, there is no two South Sudan United Front Army. There is no two SAFA. There's many people who have left or defected or went back to Juba, and I believe Sunday will also go back to Juba. And if he wants to be a part of SOMA, he can join he can merge in with any of the other two groups, Real SPLM or SSNDM.
Okay, thank you, Sister Nyabet. I have another follow-up question. If he's not one of the chairperson of other breakaway party branch, can you guys reconcile? There's a window that you guys can sit down and say, okay, you are my brother. You have been with us. We need peace. South Sudan now is in peace. People need peace in South Sudan. Can South Sudan United Front, can you guys have a peace within your members, including Sunday John?
Yes, Madid, Sunday is a South Sudanese, yeah. All these movements, oppositions, whether in government, IO, SUF, and all the other oppositions, they're all for South Sudanese, yes. Anyone can join. And when Sunday Dijon was a member, he was a trusted member by our chairman and commander-in-chief. And when information was discovered that he had leaked sensitive information to Juba, our chairman's first reaction was to suspend him so he can go under investigation. And even when I was later on appointed as an acting spokesperson, not an official spokesperson, because Dr. Sunday case was pending. But then Sunday lashed out, yeah? He overreacted and went into media houses and started to use personal attacks. He took it personally. The way he reacted to our chairman, there was no discipline on his side at all. He disrespected him. And that's what led to his dismissal later on. But yes, if he had left it at the suspension stage, he would have been investigated, you know. An investigation committee could have been formed and we find out what's the truth. But then his overreaction was a reaction of a guilty person. And this is what led to his dismissal later on. And for him to think he's a counterpart, it will never happen. But he can join the group of General Thomas Cirillo. He can join the group of, General Pagano, because they're all members of SAF. But as far as SOMA, as far as SAF, he's not willing. He's not open-minded. We gave him that chance when he was only suspended. But now he has created a bad blood with everyone in SAF. So it will be for him to initiate that, yeah. And SAF is a movement that is open to all South Sudanese. All South Sudanese are welcome. To the women, young people, our chairman and commander in chief does not discriminate. And this is why Sunday Dijon was a trusted member until he betrayed us.
Okay, thank you. You talk about the leak document that Sunny leaked them out to the government. So how did I find out that Sunny leaked those documents to the national security?
Well, the information came back. It came back to our chairman. This document was being drafted by Sunday. No one else had it. It was in his computer. The same channel and method he had reached national security is the same way it was on his computer. Would it have been any of us, the other members of SAF-A, we would have screenshotted it, or it wouldn't have been in the same form it was on his computer. And the insider who informed our chairman, gave it with full information, including the email and the method it was sent to Juba. So we have evidence to support that.
Okay, thank you. And my next question is regarding about, last week or a couple of weeks ago, I read some in the news that there are like 9 generals and 500 soldiers from South Sudan United Front like Army defected to the government in between. Is that true?
I will have to get back to you with the confirmation of that information. I will not be able to, I'm not in a position, I'm not mandated to answer for the military wing right now.
Okay, thank you. I understand. Okay, let me move back. So my last question, and I will get back the floor to my colleague. My last question is regarding about, I saw you and General Malong went to Rome. And the same thing for the peace negotiation between SOMA and the government. And the same thing happened in South. It's happened to SOMA again. So SOMA, we learned that SOMA, when you guys in the meeting, we learned that SOMA is now divided into 2. There's SOMA of Tommy Cirillo, Emmanuel, and the others, leaders. And then another group for General Malong and General Pagana Mom and General if I'm mistaken. So government, I read something in the news, government was surprised. Team that went to Rome to meet with you guys, they were surprised that you guys divided into 2 and they start meeting separately. So can you tell us more what happened in Rome?
Yes, we did go to Rome for the Sant'Egidio initiative for South Sudan. Kindly do not compare the situation of Sunday Dijon made up stuff with the situation of SOMA. And what is happening in SOMA is an internal SOMA issue. It's SOMA is made out of real SPLM, SSNDA, and South Sudan United Front Army. So when the Hague Declaration of Principle was signed in Netherlands, it consisted of 3 groups. Yes, these 3 groups are the ones I have just mentioned. The signatory were Thomas Cirillo, the leader of SSNDA, the second signature was Real SPLM, led by General Paganamum. And the third signature was ours, South Sudan United Front Army, led by General Paul Malong. At the time, he wasn't able to attend. He had assigned Dr. Sunday to attend, who had signed for General Paul Malong. Those signatures, the Hague Declaration of Principle, is what we're still going by, and he has not been reviewed. He has not been altered, and it's what's guiding SOMA. So when SNDA decided to have 3 more briefcase movement within it, they did not go back to egg and be included. Yeah, and I'm not saying that SOMA is not for everyone. SOMA is for everyone. Yeah, but it's under the 3 groups. So anyone who wants to join, including South Sudan United Front Army, we had groups, alliances who came to merge in with us, yeah? And they're all under General Paul Malong. We expected the same of the Real SPLM. They have people coming to join SOMA. They either merge with us, they either merge with Real SPLM, or they merge with SSNDA. So SSNDA is the one that split within. They had alliances within alliances, yeah? And this was to affect the whole process, and just and their main focus was no longer what was signed in Hague. Was so, like, they wanted to focus more on the long term. When it comes to power sharing, they would get the most shares. When it came to voting, they would call themselves the majority. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as the international community is concerned, SOMA consists of only 3 groups. Anyone who wants to join SOMA has to merge in with one of the 3 groups. So if it comes to voting, majority is 2/1, not 1 dividing itself into 4 groups and calling themselves the majority. So if the Real SPLM, led by General Paganamum, is the same Real SPLM that General Oyaejak is the same as the Real SPLM that Professor Teng is in, yeah, and the other members. So, and then there's South Sudan United Front. South Sudan United Front is led by General Paul Malong. Those who join us will merge in with us, and we're all represented under South Sudan Opposition Movement Alliance. So if Real SPLM and South Sudan United Front are in one group, those are the recognized majority. Not when one group of SNDA splits itself into 4 groups and call itself the majority. That is not according to the Hague Declaration of Principles. And if they wanted to be included that way, we could have reviewed the Declaration of Principle and go back to the Netherlands and sign another, and have this other approach of having 6 members. But initially, it's only 3 members. Yeah,
Is
and
it that before you guys went to Rome? Because what we know before, is it the 3 members? Because what I know for sure, SOMA was combined with 6 members, parties, SOMA. So before this breakaway disagreement between before the suspension of the SSUF and General Malong. So why, my follow-up question is, why is it true that General Malong and SSUF was suspended at the SOMA?
Well, they suspended us.
Because also
and this is what I'm saying. They suspended us based on the majority vote. One group cannot call itself the majority when the other 2 groups remain on one side, right? And the basis for suspending us, these were breaches made by Sunday De John. These were not our making. And when this came up, it was to our shock, and it was also to General Pagano Mum's shock, and this is why he disputed it, and he wanted the leadership to sit down, and but a lot of people that
But Sunday
a
John
lot.
didn't vote for him, right? Sunday John didn't vote
No,
for him.
he did not. Sunday was a member of South Sudan United Front, and
Okay.
is no longer a member. So the only way he can go to Rome if he joins Real SPLM or SSNDA, and if he's nominated by the leadership of those groups as a delegate. And this is how he used to go as South. He did not used to go as Sunday. He used to go as a delegate of South Sudan United Front to under SOMA. Yes. So how can Sunday go unless he joined the other two groups and they nominate him as one of the delegates? Usually we have very limited seats to attend these meetings. A whole movement cannot attend it. So we usually have, whatever numbers they give us, it's supposed to be, whether it's 3 people, that would include our chairman and the delegates that he selects to go and represent us there. And this is what Sunday was doing, because General Malong used to nominate him as our delegate to represent all of us there. Yeah. And this is why
You unmute yourself. You mute yourself. Yeah, there you go.
okay. Yeah, so, well, with our suspension, it happened while the community of Sant'Egidio has already started the plans to go into Rome. And at that time, our initial delegates were supposed to be, I'm talking about South Sudan United Front. Our initial delegates were meant to be General Paul Malong, Sunday Dijon, and myself. But when Sunday was suspended, my comrade comrade was included. Uh, he has been there a few times before as well. So Sant'Egidio could not cancel the whole peace process, because they had already extended out the invitations to us, and we were already on the way to Rome. This is for all the 3 groups, yeah, the SSNDS, SAF A, and Real SPLM. And this is why Sant'Egidio could not postpone or reschedule, and so we all ended up in Rome under the invitation of the community of Sant'Egidio. There, the presence of the international community was there, regional community. Everyone was there. And unfortunately, the talks stalled because the community of Sant'Egidio could not put us together as one SOMA. They engaged us separately. Yeah. And
Yeah. So, and
yeah.
while you guys, yes, thank you, sister, and also to
No, I was listening to the phone call. So they
yeah.
engaged us separately, and the group of Thomas Cirillo had the talks with the government, and so did we the following day. And we also met with the international community. We had parallel talks, the other group and us, but. Eventually, the talks were cordial between us. I'm speaking about our side, the Real SPLM and SAF A. The talks were very cordial between us and the government, and even the support we got from the international community. But at the end of the day, the reason we went there was to recommit to COA and have a plan forward. But none of these documents could reach a signature. Our group did not sign anything, and neither did the other group who claims to have suspended us, could not sign anything. So, and this was due to not engaging us as one entity. And the government either could not sign with 2 separate groups of SOMA. And that was the cause of the stalling of the talks.
So, when you guys were there, I know that your team met with the government delegate separately with other team of SOMA. So,
Yes.
can you highlight South Sudanese people about the meeting that your group held with the government delegate? What did you guys talk about regarding about peace?
Yes, you can refer back to my press statement, our joint press statement with the SAF and Real SPLM. The talks were very cordial between us and the government. They highlighted a number of things that were important to the people of South Sudan. And this included, you know, the recommitment to the ceasefire and, you know, inclusiveness and yes, inclusiveness and so much more were discussed. But these were verbal, nothing went on paper. And then we later heard that the other group was not happy that we were being engaged. And the role of a mediator is to play neutral. They were not supposed to choose a side, and this is why they continued engaging us. I have heard claims from other SOMA members and other defected members or dismissed, saying that we took ourselves to Rome. How can General Malong take himself to Rome? He went under the invitation of the community of Sant'Egidio. And so did everyone who went to Rome. No one took themselves to Rome. How would we get visas and, you know, the facilitation? So we went there under the invitation of Sant'Egidio, and so did all the other groups of SOMA. And unfortunately, our former colleague was not under any of this group, and this is why he was not there.
Thank you, sister. I will yell. You answer all my questions. I will yell back the floor back to my colleague, Isaac and Paul. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for answering my question.
All
If
right.
I have a question, I will come
Thank
up.
you so much, Abraham Madit. Thank you, Bod Makur. I would like also to thank Honorable Nyamach Nyang Chuol for accepting invitation and be part of our show tonight to attend this interview. My questions, I have two questions in one. I would like to take you back a little bit regarding the incident of Sunday, the John. What are the documents that Sunday the John leaks to Juba, and why they are so sensitive?
This
It's
was
the last one you need to bring it out as well, because he sent the document to Juba and the documents came back to you. He's a call. Have a link with you. You exchange the messages with him, or how did the messages came back, or the leaked document came back into your hand? Can you tell the public about this, please?
well, the document that was leaked by Sunday De John was sensitive because it was the promotion of our forces. And when it reached Juba, as much as Akolkor has eyes and ears everywhere, and so does our chairman. And this is how the information came back to us from Juba. I cannot get into more details because this document was only in possession of Sunday De John. Myself, I did not even know about the document until it was leaked. Most of staff members did not know about the document. Yeah, it was the trust our chairman had for Sunday. This is why he was the only custodian of the document. And after he had sent it to Juba, it came back from our informants.
Okay. Yeah, most of the question that I was having here being asked by Abraham Madid. I will let Bol Makur go ahead if he has a different question that which is not asked, or some of the viewers down, we will raise them up for you. Bol Makur, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Ms. Nyamach. We are so grateful to have you. And you are a great speaker. You speak very well on issues that arise. My question to you is that in our country, as a young woman, as young women are rising to such a great position, like the position you are elected into, how do you feel as a young woman in our in current political arena of South Sudan?
I thank you, Bolmakur. I'm also humbled to be here. Yeah, that was a gender-based question, I believe. Yes, myself, I joined politics let's say 2018, but I've been in civil service in South Sudan since the age of 21. I've been working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and South Sudan issues, or even prior to us being an independent sovereign state, these issues affected us from such a young age, And I remember how much I disliked Bashir as a young kid because of the suffering of the people of Southern Sudan, then right now South Sudan. So these things have grown in us. Our parents have, have gone through the struggles of South Sudan, and he, I built, I grew up in the public face of working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as a diplomat. And when I joined South Sudan United Front Army, I was the Secretary for Gender and also the Deputy for External Affairs. I'm grateful to have this portfolio right now that my chairman and commander in chief has trusted me to hold, and I know it will not be an easy task because it's the people, maybe not only in South Sudan, Africa as a whole, or even globally. People are used to men holding such portfolios and being in positions of power, but the women as well have potential. We can do the same thing as men do, with time and experience, and experience is the best teacher in life. And I hope that I will deliver and grow thicker skin with all the misogynists who will will come at me with with the personal attack and hate speeches, being sexist. It's fine. I've grown a thick skin already. Problems of South Sudan have been my problems. I feel them as much as men feel them. They have affected my family. They have affected, the general. We have so many people displaced right now. We have external. We have people who are internally displaced, externally displaced. Majority of us, and I believe right now in this panel, we're all diasporans. None of us is relaxed back home. Somewhere they feel a sense of belonging. We're all over the place due to the issues of South Sudan. So for us to solve these issues, please include women. Don't look upon them, don't frown on them, and don't judge them. Give us the chance. And I remember this peace talks that we attended with General Malong is the first time, this is the first time I was able to have the privilege to go and be part of the peace talks, and our chapter also in Canada nominated my comrade Lina Parek to also attend, and we all met there in Rome, and the the group of real SPLM also came with a woman representative, Josephine. There was three of us, present, three women, and that was that was a record breaking, and we participated on the same level as the men were. And later on, we discovered, there are men and even women who do not see our potential to deliver as much as men do, and we're we're getting insults from left, right, center, from all avenues, especially in social media. What do you men want us to do? Cry and give out resign, give out our positions to men? Men have been doing this for a very long time. Give us a chance to bring peace to South Sudan. You know, we women are good, are very persuasive. We can do things men cannot do, and if we work collaboratively, you know, I believe in South Sudan to go further. So yeah, don't frown on women. Give us opportunities in the public arena and power positions.
Wow.
So
Thank you
thanks.
so much. Thank you so much, Nyamach, for answering this question briefly. I also heard from you that you work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Why did you left?
Oh, well, I've worked there and I dedicated my time. I worked selflessly and, you know, not for any gains, but to be part of the nation building. I did it from the heart and I did it for my people and I gave my all to it. I abandoned my, you know, uh, my diasporan life and I moved to Juba and worked there. But later on, since 2013, you know, there was a lot of uh, bitterness amongst people, you know, and our administration started appointing the same groups of people, mainly, you know, from one clan, I may say, uh, you know, connections from J1. And some of these people were, some of these, I'd call them my bosses, some of my bosses were very tribalist, you know. They started making us. And for clarification, I don't know if my name is self-explanatory, but I'm from Nuer, I'm from Low Nuer Jonglei State. Uh, and at the time, since 2013, if you work in any government institution, you were regarded as Riek Machar spy or, you know, as an IO. Uh, one of my bosses actually said this to my face. I don't know if he forgot I was Nuer, but he said that, you know, there are people here that will deny promotions and deployment, but we'll keep lying to them that we're working on it. But in real sense, we're not doing that because we know they are IO. He meant every Nuer person in the institution. And I think that was my last straw. A lot of things led to that. And I decided, in, you know, in the simplest way I can, I decided to take one for the team because everyone was just quiet. My colleagues were frustrated and they were all being affected by, you know, this tribalistic leaders that were appointed to actually, you know, put the institution in the right path. But instead, they were dividing us. Yeah. So maybe that's one of my last straw that I can mention. But a lot of things led to that. The frustration in the country. Just walking around. When I moved to Juba in 2010, you know, we were heading into the right direction. And then of recent, you see mothers and newborns begging on the street. It's not in our South Sudanese culture to have beggars. We live in kinships. Yeah, you see high child mortality. You see hospitals closed at night. You know, people. The death rate was going up. Unknown gunmen who were actually known were on the rise. We were not feeling safe. So I wanted to be part of affecting change in South Sudan, and I did not. And I also wanted to prove some of these tribalist leaders in my institution that Dr. Riek Machar was not the only person that I could affect change with just because of my tribe. There was a lot of oppositions who are trying to deliver. And for General Malong to be pushed to the wall and ended up, you know, being an opposition later on, I related because I was pushed to the wall. I was working selflessly. You know, I gave up all my youth since the age of 20 just to work for my country. And then later on, you're not being recognized because of your tribe. South Sudan was was brought to us, by SPLM liberators. These people included my father, these people were from all walks of life, all 64 tribes of South Sudan fought for this country. So for someone who's put in a position of leadership in an institution to start dividing us on tribal basis was unbecoming. And this is why I ended up leaving and joined South Sudan United Front. And I hope, I have grown in that institution. I have evolved in that institution. And it's my hope for us to bring, just peace in South Sudan that will treat people equally. And I can go back to my career and would be able to reform the institution so we don't have such hateful people in leadership position who will end up causing divide instead of uniting us to deliver and be part of the nation building.
Wow, thank you. Ms. Nyamach, I'm so impressed the way you answered question. You are the real leader of this current millennium. I heard from your talk that, our job as young generation and your job also as somebody in such a position is that to bring change to South Sudan and bring justice to the people of South Sudan because they are suffering and they have been suffering for so long. And it is always said that tell the truth and shame the devil. You said that in the administration there were some intimidations because you are based on your ethnic. Why don't you tell us who were these leaders in those departments? Because to bring change is to tell the truth and shame the devil, and it is also our duty to mention their name so they will feel ashamed and not to do such things to young ladies like you because of their ethnic. So can you tell us who were these leaders act like this?
Well, it would be better not to focus on the outstanding issues of SOMA and SAF at the moment. I didn't want to personalize the show with my own issues. Yes, I did not come mentally prepared to mention names as I have not before, but I can tell Lake State Media these people are no longer in those positions. They were fired. So
Thank
I'm
you.
seeing gradual changes in the ministry. Hopefully, it continues like that.
Thank you. Thank you. It's also good that you didn't mention their name, and it is also good that I asked that question so you can also mention that there is a gradual change as they have been fired. It's also great. Right now, in this position that you are in, there are some young ladies also join you. How are young ladies being treated now and before?
Like I said, I'll be plainly blunt, frank. I will, I'll just tell you the truth. When I joined South Sudan United Front, I was not the only woman. We had two other women that I'd known who were much senior than me because I had joined after them. Unfortunately, they have defected, and yeah. So right now, obviously, I am senior to those who joined after me, and with General Paul Malong, it does not look down on us because of our age or our gender. It treats us all equally, and the reason, even the majority of the youth in South Sudan and with those who are in IG and in every other group, they believe, that SAF is the alternative for South Sudan. And because right now, SAF is the most diverse movement that exists out there. We are very inclusive. We represent all the tribes. I know you know of some movements who only whoever the chairman is the only tribe that is joining, that is being a member of that movement. And with SAF, you know, and myself as an example, I'm not from Dinka Will. My chairman is from Dinka Will, and you know, there's Dinka from all other places, including Lake State, who are highly represented, Jonglei State, Unity State. We're from everywhere. SAF is the most diverse, inclusive, and this is why the reason for this is because of having a leader like General Malong, who is recognizing everyone's potential. Yeah, and he gives us positions such as the one I'm holding right now and the previous ones I had. He wasn't based on, you know, being a member of his clan or his tribe. Is because of my merits and being able to deliver. And he appoints us from all walks of life in South Sudan. So yes, South is the alternative. Women are very much represented, and we're not only represented in the back office right now. You know, we're also in the spotlight. We're attending, you know, peace negotiations as well. We're being spokespeople like myself. So yeah, South is very inclusive of all the stereotype, and I advise all South Sudanese, you know, our doors are welcome, our doors are open, and we welcome you all to join hands with us so we can effect real change in South Sudan.
Thank you, Nyamach. Before I hand it over to my colleague, I just want to ask you a very light question that bothering. I don't know if it is represented in the peace agreement by a certain group of SOMA, because SOMA is divided under so many group and it's become SOMA. You know that we have so many regions in South Sudan, and there are so many allegations that some of the SOMA members or leaders, their intention to join the rebellion is that they want most Dinka and Nuer to leave Equatoria. Uh, is this argument represented in Soma, for instance, in Rome? Is this a reason? Is it represented there? Are there leaders representing this proposal that Dinka and Nuer have to leave Equatoria? Have you ever heard about it?
Well, from ESAs, there's nothing documented as such, but the route SSNDA is trying to take is a recipe for disaster, and it will lead them into collapsing, because you cannot dwell on local agendas when, you know, we have the national agendas to focus on. And this is what our chairman, General Paul Malong, and the real SPLM chairman want to focus on, the national agendas. Once we change the governments, once we fix the governance, and all these other issues can be fixed. That you cannot fix South Sudan internal local issues outside. This was not even John Garang's vision. Yeah, so let's focus on national agendas. Then, if we focus on local agendas right now, then we will be focusing on one communities' local agendas. I have local agendas as well. As you know, we have intercommunal conflicts. But should I go and put them in at the high table field peace negotiation? Let's focus. Let's have good governance first, and then we'll solve all these issues. But as you know, Ambassador Emmanuel was my colleague in Foreign Affairs. He's a very good friend, and we've worked together. Very hard-working man. But yes, he can talk. He can convince anyone with anything. And as I said, that the reason SAF was suspended was because we were against federal system and other local agendas. No, we never said that. We said that all these things, most of them have been exhausted. The government is already, the IO and IG are already working on most of these things. So why should we dwell on things that have already being resolved within the country? We want to focus on the things that, Dr. Riek and Kir are not implementing. Yeah, so no, my chairman never said that he's against federal system. We just said that, let's focus on good governance. Most of these things are exhausted in the RCs that we're not signatory or part to, and this is why we're the older groups. So let's focus on the bigger picture, and then later on we can focus on local agendas. I have local agendas, he has local agendas, so does you and everyone else. So yeah, there's always the bigger picture to solve the other internal issues.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Nyamach. I'm dominating the show. I will just ask one question and I will give it to my friend. After the independent South Sudan witnessed a major setback that affect the function of the national currency. What was the genesis of downfall of South Sudan pound?
Well, obviously, good governance. We wouldn't have that problem because of the failure of the system. This is what is causing this, and it's just getting worse and worse. So, we had the strongest economy in Africa at some point. I remember when I moved to Juba, SSP was a $1 for 2.7. No one even used to speak of the dollar. No one wanted the US dollar because we were almost $1 pound to dollar. But right now, the currency has inflated, and it has, it's almost survival. Like, how are people surviving right now? It's because of the failure of our system, and this is why we need good governance in place. If had we have good governance, we wouldn't be facing these issues.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we will end up here.
Yeah.
There's
Thank you. So we need to pull up a few questions from the audience before we let our guests go. There's a good question that our sisters asked. So can you answer that?
Oh, Malia Makur. Hi, sister. Okay, what's my take on Comrade Thomas Cirillo wanting independence of Equatoria region from the rest of South Sudan? Okay, where will Equatoria go? Independence. Where do Equatorians want to go when they're already South Sudan? Or where do you want to live the rest of South Sudanese? We have already been intermarrying for decades and decades. So if my mother is from Equatoria and my father is from Dinka, they'll divide me because of independence. We're one. I don't think there should be such a thing. And if it's a thing that General Thomas Cirillo wants to dwell on, it will be very unfortunate. I don't think it's one of the agendas, but yeah. Sometimes there's propagandas. I hope it's not the case, but where will Equatoria go? We're all South Sudanese. South Sudan is made of all of us.
Thank you. And another question is coming out from, he said that what is it, SOMA that government should talk with?
Well,
like his question, he talk about the SOMA.
Kunya Jok, South Sudan Opposition Movement Alliance is all the older groups that were not able to sign the RCs in Khartoum. So yes, and this they're made out of real SPLM, SSNDN, and us SSUF. So we are all the legitimate groups of the alliance. So government has already engaged with us in the recent Rome talks, and they'll continue that way. And the internal issue we have of the so-called suspension, we hope in time it can be resolved so that we can stand as one. And if not, they'll continue engaging with the three groups, whether together or separately. So those are the three legitimate groups.
And another question has come out from Martin.
Martino M. Thon.
Martino M. Thon.
Martino M. Thon, in a very honest manner. Yes, we're here to be very frank. Yes. Do you believe Dr. Sunday did anything wrong? You mean? Yeah. You know, you cannot leak any organizations, institutions, documents. I'm sure even where you work, if you have a colleague or yourself leaking such information, it will lead into, some type of punishment. And this is why Sunday was suspended, because he did that, and his overreaction was more to prove that, he has done it. And he continues to do it. He's still a mole to a Kolkor, and yes, he's being paid by a Kolkor. He's being serviced, and this is why he's still claiming to be running a movement just so that he can continue selling information for monetary gain. South Sudan people are suffering not so that individual can have monetary gains. South Sudanese people want a solution, not personal interest and greed. So it's so unfortunate that Sunday ended up taking that path. Most of us who joined opposition movement because we couldn't affect change within the system, left because of frustrations and anger that led us into, choosing. But Sunday, as far as I'm concerned, was never in any institution. He's not known to have worked for any institution. He has been in the diaspora, pursuing his studies, and he joined a movement. So I would also like to know what frustrations did Sunday have to join an opposition movement.
Philemon is asking you a question about. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
Philemon Tom Daoud. Okay. Does SOMA is SOMA ready to join RC's implementation, or you need a separate agreement? Philemon, we cannot endorse an agreement that we were not part and parcel to or signatory to. Yes, we're taking the peaceful path, and this is why, generals like generals like Paul Malong and Oya Deng have ampled themselves to go into a negotiating table to choose the peaceful path for the people of South Sudan. Yes, yes, we may endorse peace, but not ours, unless it's reopened for negotiations. There's no such thing as, supporting a document that you did not negotiate and you did not contribute to. Yes, we would rather our own agreement or renegotiation of the RCs, because we were not part and signatory to. We cannot endorse someone else's work. MC Mawin Ararik, can I read your question again?
Pull it up again, Isaac.
Okay, if one may ask, what methodologies of power did SUF use to attend the Rome peace talk when on suspension, and was it legitimate doing so? I had already covered it earlier that, there's no methodologies. We are members of SOMA. The split of one group that called themselves majority is not recognized in the Declaration of Principles. So those were actually the minority. The majority stood together, which is Real SPLM and SUF. And we were officially invited by the community of Sant'Egidio to attend the peace talk. So no, there was no backdoors we used. We used the legitimate means to go there. Bol M. Makwaitong, when is Malong going to Juba? Yes, this is why we're having peace talks. until it's a process. There's a framework and scope to it, and once we reach a consensus and agreement with the government and with the support and the blessings of the international community, yes, that will be communicated later. So I cannot estimate when.
I think that's all the question we give
Uh,
you a time.
Madid,
Yes.
hold on. Ms. Nyamach, we need some time to balance it. One of the ladies has a question. So let me bring it up. No,
Jaco Daniel
not
Chukona.
that, not that. Sorry, it's this one.
That is compliment. Yeah.
I cannot see it. Okay.
Mm.
From Veronica Nyapena Bas. How are you helping women that are suffering right now in South Sudan and in your position that you're in right now? Well, how am I helping them? I'm not in South Sudan at the moment. I'm in an opposition. When I'm in South Sudan, I usually try to get engaged with as many, orphanages and other, like empowering women and such things. But I have no powers to do that right now. I'll do it at my capacity outside the country. And I hope I'm an inspiration for other women to speak up and have a voice and, believe in themselves and not be discouraged by the naysayers and, do your part in your expertise and in your careers. Aim for the highest. Don't fear men and just do it for your people if that's what you're destined to do, or in any area. If you're trying to change the lives of the people. Yes, what I'm doing right now, I cannot say that I'm doing anything that is that is very much, because I'm so busy with politics right now and how to affect change in, the in like the level of governance, and from ground roots up, we can address all our issues as women. So yeah, I hope I'm inspiring to the women who are younger than me. Sly Angelo, if SOMA has some internal problem, especially with the Thomas Cirillo camp, and how will you tackle the peace talks with the government? Yes, this is why we could not sign anything, because we were being engaged separately. The government delegation came to engage with one SOMA, not separate SOMA. So if we do not manage to resolve our internal SOMA issue, it's not for the government or Santigidio to interfere and tell us or force us to be together or force us to separate. But the government came prepared to engage with one SOMA. But since they could only engage us separately, they did not come to sign with two separate groups. If that is to be the case, then maybe they will come prepared next time.
Thank you. I have two more questions, then that should be it. Question came from James.
Yeah. James, is Malong and his team negotiating with the rest of SOMA so suspension can be lifted? We tried, we tried to welcome them back as the majority of SOMA, but they were not open to that, the reunion, and in good faith, we're still open to that. But yeah, the leadership will decide. The leadership council is made out of General Paul Malong, General Pagan, and General Thomas. So they're the three that will decide the fate of SOMA.
That's the last question from Philemon.
From Philemon. Do you think NDMPF is a cause of SOMA internal power struggle, as the chairman been very critical on IO chairman? NDMPF, they're part of SSNDM, so I cannot answer for them.
Thank you so much, Sister Yeah, but my last question, which is the end, this is will be like General Malone. If if we invited General Malone to the media, I know that we try so many times that we won't read out of General Malone so that he can come. And what we get the comment that we are seeing, they say that General Malone cannot come to the media because that media is not good for general somebody like general to come in the media to interact with the South Sudanese people. So my question to you as spokesperson of General Malone, do you think it's okay for General Malone not to come to the social media like Pagana Mom is doing it? Pagana is doing it. He come to the media and he talk to the people. So is it if General Malone is a man that he want a leader of people, can he come and because as you know now, social media is a platform that connects people. So if you want to be a leader and you want to preach his message out, which is also the is in diaspora and back home, and you do that through social media, and so what your intake in this question regarding about why John Malone is not willing to come to social media to talk to the public?
I'm not sure who your source is for saying that, and I don't support it. Was it the former spokesperson Sunday who said that? I'm not sure, but he has appeared several times, and it may be due to his schedule and for issues such as Sunday he cannot come and have an interview with any media house, leave alone social media, to answer to someone who was a former member. And if Sunday wants someone to answer to him, like I'm almost, maybe I'm the closest to his counterpart, not General Malone. He will never have the same weight, and he will forget it if he thinks that General Malone will ever give him that attention. So he's a dismissed member of SSUF, and if he wants to go back and forth on social media, let him call. He can call me his counterpart, but not General Paul Malone. He's
Yeah,
far from that.
yeah. You come from Sunday John is just coming from because I tried hard before Sunday was a spokesperson. I try one the to grow Sunday John here, and we tell him that we need General Malone to come to the media, and he's lied. He said that he's a spokesperson. Malone is not allowed to come, and if any question goes to General Malone, you have to go direct to the spokesperson. So that question now I had Sunday John at that time, and I asked you now. So that's why I bring it up there. So thank you so much. So for
Yeah,
coming.
well, yes, Sunday has overpowered himself, as you see, he's calling himself the chairman of interim chairman of some made-up stuff, and he's calling himself a counterpart. He's calling himself a co-founder of stuff. No, he's not a co-founder. We have the 9 co-founders of stuff who formed SSUF, and he's not even close. He was later on recruited because we needed a spokesperson. He did not. He did not. He did not join SSUF. He was recruited. Yes, and is not. I joined SSUF. I chose to join SSUF due to my frustrations in Juba and humiliations and whatever that had pushed me to the wall. The same as other members. But Sunday case is an exception. He was recruited, to come and hold this portfolio because of its outspokenness. But no, he's not a founder or a co-founder to begin with. We have the 9 founding members, and these are very senior commanding people in South Sudan. These are made up professor, generals, lawyers, etc., and the public even know who they are. But no, Sunday, you can dismiss all his claims.
Okay.
The nine founding members are the ones who endorsed General Paul Malong to be the chairman and commander in chief.
So thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'm happy that you come to Next Day Media. Lake State Media is open to everybody. For those of rumors out there, Lake State Media is tribal media, or Lake State Media is this and that. Those are not true. So we are nationalists. So we are diehard. Our source have the peace, and that's why we bring you guys on our media so that we can discuss the nation agenda, so that the opposition and the government can have that dialogue to each other, so that they can bring the lasting peace in our country. Because our people are suffering so much. Millions of people are in, thousands of people, are in the refugee camp, displaced in South Sudan, in closer neighbors country. So that our people are suffering so much. So we need peace to come. And that's the reason why we create this media platform, because the more we hear out our differences, and then we have that dialogue, and then we have come to the solution and common ground. So, and that's what we want. So we want our people to have peace, and that's what we preach in the media. We see all South Sudanese support right equal, regardless. So, and we need our women serve in the government, because we men we drive our people into the ditch. So it's the time now our women lead us and bring changes. And I'm really happy that you are one of those women who will bring change to our country. So, and I applaud you that. And I'm really thankful for you are a very outspoken person, public speaker, and that's what we want. We want our women to come out like you. You are an example for our women. So that people can come out, because the more our women come out and speak in public, the more our leaders, those men who are destroying our country, can listen. Because our mothers have more powerful than us. So I really thank you so much for taking this opportunity and come to Lake State Media and talk to your people. So I'm really very grateful. Thank you.
I'm very humble. Thank you so much, Madit, Isaac, and Abul. I'm not I'm not live literate, but yeah, this is the first time I'm being featured on Lake State Media. I'm very humbled to be here. Let me just clarify a last question that popped up before, but you didn't give it to me. Someone asked whose daughter I am and whether my father has joined SUF. You know, we South Sudanese, we need to educate ourselves, yes, and stop generalizing. We can be members of one family, but we can all have, you know, different political views. Yeah. My father is yes, a very, you know, a very diehard SPLM member. He's still in Juba, and you know, we don't move together politically. Yes, and he decided to remain in the mother party, and I'm a grown-up and I'm an adult who have seen things for myself, who have seen the struggles of the people of South Sudan, and I made this decision independently without, you know, without the approval or consent of any members of my family. So no, my father is not a member of South Sudan United Front Army. I am a member of South Sudan United Front Army. So thank you for that. I just wanted to clarify it.
No worries. Thank you so much, Honorable Nyamach, for attending this interview. We really applaud you. And our viewers, we come to an end of the interview. We thank you so much for your questions and your attendance to listen to Honorable Nyamach Nyang Chuol. I have to say thank you, all of you. God bless you. God bless South Sudan. And we will get the peace that will bring all of us together.
Thank you.
Thank you. Turn down music a little bit then. Just a thank you that I want to give to my sister Nyamach Nyang Chol. And Lake State Media is just an outlet news that which hosts South Sudanese, and it's just like any other news. But my promise to South Sudanese to adapt and love what they made. I beg South Sudanese to adapt and love what they made. It's like right now when you host in BBC, everybody will tune to BBC and will listen to BBC, but will not question BBC why they host the South Sudanese while it's not the British. But you know, they need to leave those. But can you turn down music a little bit?
It's down.
All right. Anyway, thank you, Ms. Nyamach, for coming to Lake State Media. It is my honor to host you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here. Lake State Media is, you have been very inclusive, diverse. You're hosting me here. I'm not from Irol. I'm not from Agar. But, I have not seen any, anything biased about this show. It's very inclusive. And thank you for hearing all of us out. You have hosted, from my side of politics, you have hosted myself right now. You have hosted my former colleague, Sunday Dijon. You have hosted, my former colleague and still my colleague in SSOMA, Ambassador Emmanuel. Ajwain, and we're all from different states of South Sudan, and this is the diversity and the unity we need. Let's not dwell on anything that divides us. Let's continue to unite, and I hope Lake State will keep this spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood up. I'm so humbled to be here.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. How do we say bye?
يا جاب سودان يا قوانا جدلكم بلد فيهم مشاكل قلب ميتين دردا ميتين دردا قلب ميتين دردا يا جاب سودان يا قوانا جدلكم بلد فيهم مشاكل قلب ميتين دردا ميتين دردا قلب ميتين دردا أنا بكيد عشانكم يا سودان شكلكم يا جماعة شكلكم يا جماعة ربنا بيساعد
Thank you so much. We have end up here, and God bless you all where you are.
It's your boy Young Ajwain that time. Pancho leg stand Panchi America. Panji doll Banaban Pancho leg stand Panchi America. Panji doll Banaban walk on the lake Kankaro Watan watching. Oga leg gear pow leg Panda with Yay Panchi America. Panya doll Vano Chingatongo Pandon could you ever buy a checker? Papu Panda Jiro what they be doll venting. Stand Panchi America, Panji doll, Banaban Pancho leg stand Panchi America, Panji doll, Banaban walk on the lake Kankaro Watan watching. Oga leg gear pow leg Panda with Yay Panchi America, Panya doll Vano Chingatongo Pandon.